reshaping markets and the global economy. From fresh tech investments and surging gold prices to major breakthroughs in US-China negotiations and record growth in the Gulf. And later, we'll take a closer look at one of the most pressing questions in tech and geopolitics: who will end up buying TikTok? Welcome to Finance Pulse, and here are the top headlines of the day. We begin in London, where Google has just announced a massive new investment, £5 billion or about $6.8 billion, ahead of President Donald Trump's state visit to the UK. The deal underscores how global tech giants are betting big on Britain despite recent economic uncertainty. Alongside the investment, Google is opening a new data center near London to support growing demand for its AI-driven services, including Google Cloud, Maps, and Workspace. The timing is significant, with Trump's visit expected to bring a wave of business agreements and fresh partnerships. Turning to the markets, gold has soared to a fresh record, climbing about $3,685 an ounce. Investors are piling into the precious metal ahead of an expected Federal Reserve rate cut this week. Beyond the rate decision itself, all eyes are on the Fed's updated economic outlook and what Chair Jerome Powell will signal about the path forward. A weaker US dollar has also supported gold's surge, but the key question remains: just how aggressive will the Fed be with monetary easing in the months to come? Meanwhile, in Washington and Beijing, negotiators have hammered out a framework for a potential TikTok deal. President Trump hinted at the breakthrough in a post on Truth Social, saying a deal had been reached for a company that young people in the US very much wanted to be saved. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent confirmed the talks, noting that China wants to preserve certain cultural elements of the app. While details are still being finalized, this could mark a turning point in one of the most contentious tech disputes between the two superpowers. And in the Gulf, Sharjah has reported the strongest foreign direct investment growth among all UAE Emirates. In the first half of 2025 alone, capital investment surged by 361% to $1.5 billion. The Emirate also recorded 74 FDI projects, a 57% increase compared to last year, while job creation rose 45%. Officials say this reflects growing confidence in Sharjah's diversified economy, with international firms increasingly seeing the Emirate as a hub for regional expansion. Now, for tonight's deep dive, we turn to the high-stakes question at the heart of tech and geopolitics: who is most likely to buy TikTok? TikTok's Chinese parent company, ByteDance, has faced mounting pressure from Washington over national security concerns tied to user data and potential ties to Beijing. In April 2024, Joe Biden signed a law forcing ByteDance to divest from TikTok or face a US ban. President Trump extended that deadline, but now the clock is ticking. Among the leading contenders is Oracle. Speculation about its involvement has sent the company's stock climbing nearly 3% this week, lifting founder Larry Ellison to the title of world's richest man. Oracle has already made its case as a trusted partner, and its deep enterprise ties could reassure regulators about data security. But it's not alone in the race. A consortium led by former Los Angeles Dodgers owner Frank McCourt and investor Kevin O'Leary has also expressed interest, though questions remain about whether they can finance such a massive deal, potentially worth tens of billions of dollars. Their proposal to buy TikTok without its algorithm has drawn skepticism, since that recommendation engine is widely seen as the platform's secret sauce. Microsoft too has history here. Back in 2020, CEO Satya Nadella described its failed bid for TikTok as the strangest deal he would ever encounter. That effort collapsed, as did a later joint bid from Oracle and Walmart. Still, with the political pressure mounting, new players could re-emerge in the coming weeks. The final outcome may depend less on corporate strategy and more on geopolitics. A planned meeting between President Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping later this week is expected to finalize the contours of any deal. For now, TikTok's 135 million US users can breathe a sigh of relief, but only temporarily. Until a buyer is confirmed, the app's future will remain a litmus test of US-China relations and the balance between technology, security, and global influence. That's all in Finance Pulse for today. Follow the Finance 360 for more updates.